Hello and welcome everyone to Anfield Road TV, your latest home for the daily Liverpool news shows, pre-match shows, post-match reaction shows as well. Lots of transfer news episodes. But Reds, if you're new around here, want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool, make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below. Put your bell notification on as well so you always do get notified when a video does go live. Staggering 45.9% of everyone that does consume the content here on YouTube hasn't subscribed. Reds, what are you doing? Let's get that subscribe percentage up until the 70-80 percentile. Those on all social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Most importantly, if you do enjoy today's episodes, hit that like button, hit that share button, and keep up to date on all things Liverpool and join the family of amazing growing Reds from around the globe. But Reds, right, let's get straight into today's episode. And welcome, Reds, to Anfield Road TV. Another pre-match build-up show on the channel. Liverpool heading towards match week 7 in the Champions League. Of course, we're top of the tree, and let's hopefully that is to continue with a big result tomorrow night as well, everyone. Chelsea currently playing at still 1-1 in that game as it stands. But I know anyone that does tune in for the live comments will keep us updated. Scores on the doors and all that good stuff. Tonight's episode, we have a little look in terms of the TNT video that Slot did speak with Rio Ferdinand and the mad fallout in regards to Curtis Jones saying that Hazard was a more technical, gifted footballer than Salah, which he's right. But yeah, for me, in my honest opinion, in terms of technicality and all that, but I suppose, but Salah is Salah, speaks for himself. Have a little look at that in terms of what he spoke on in regards with Rio Ferdinand and those technical midfield roles and the central midfield player, the Zupimendi that was linked as well. And obviously the most important game tomorrow, going in at home at Anfield against a very strong Lille side who have been very good in Ligue 1 over not just this season, but over the last couple of seasons as well. Obviously, notably, it wasn't too long ago that they did win the French Ligue 1 title as well. So, yeah, not too bad. But Reds, if you are tuning in to tonight's episode, make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below. Do drop a like on the video, massively does help as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The main thing for Liverpool, of course, we'll have a little look on the table in a little second anyway. But you've got quite a lot of notable, highly quality players as well. Leo, as we know, in that regard, obviously Jonathan David, the Canadian forward. Everyone knows him in world football. He will be a free transfer come what the end of this season. And chats coming into this game, let us know your score predictions as well, and most importantly, your starting 11 for Liverpool. It's going to be interesting. We're anticipating quite a fair bit of rotation. I know I am, but it wouldn't surprise me if Arne Slot just went strong again, because we know how important the Champions League revenue is in terms of qualifying. Obviously, it's good, and it means more money towards obviously the financial strength of Liverpool, especially going towards the I think it's like 1.5 or something around that. Is it 1.5, 2 million for winning the Champions League? And if that money can get put towards lads' new contracts as well. We know Ibu Kanate was asked about a contract in the press conference today, and everyone was still complaining about that. He just said, that's another discussion for itself, and it's with Ibu, which 2 years left on his deal, of course. We've still got the 3 main lads to get done. Will that happen? Fingers crossed. Chat, what did you think about if you've been away from social media today, there was a clip floating around. I think it was on one of the Amazon channels. I think it was Champions League build-up for the game tomorrow. And he was asked what the contract situation with those 3 lads, and Fowler come out with a conspiracy or or whatnot. He said that he feels that Liverpool have agreed 2 contracts with 2 individual players for Liverpool, and the club haven't announced that the 3rd player is yet to agree a deal, just because it'll look bad on whoever the player that has not agreed to sign that other contract. which is get you to, as we spoke about, tinfoil hat wearing last night. And is Robbie Fowler correct with that? Do you think that's a bit of truth in that regard, in terms of Liverpool not? This is going to be a lot of speculation. I think the more it is out there in the public domain, in terms of no contracts currently as it stands publicly, haven't been put on LFC's website or whatnot. So fingers crossed. You'd like to think that all of them are in house and they've been signed and they will be announced at the end of the season. But whatever happens anyway. We'll be extremely disappointed if all three of those players do leave anyway. Big up there, Mr. C. How are we, bud? How are we? Big game for your Ipswich side, mate, coming up. Doug, how are we, fella? I hope you're well, mate. And Doug, get your starting 11 predictor in the comment section below as well. Obviously, Doug's went with Allison, Bradley, Quansah, Virgil van Dijk, Robbo, Endo, Elliot, Szoboszlai, Diaz, Nunes, and Fedi Chiesa as well. I'm not too sure what you mean. Obviously Queeve and Kelleher as well. I don't think the goalkeeper rotation is a bit mad, really. I think goalies can play a fair distance, really, and a fair chunk of games anyway. But in terms of just quickly summarising on a couple of key players, we've just mentioned Jonathan David at the beginning of this season in his regard, in terms of how many goals he has achieved this season. 11 goals, 2 assists in 15 starts. I think if you go back a couple of seasons in regards to the League One, he's done extremely, extremely well in previous seasons gone by. It's either been him, Kylian Mbappe, and yeah, it's been those, and obviously Neymar when he was in League One prior to his move to the Saudi Pro League as well. So you've got, was it Openda as well before he did get his move to obviously the Bundesliga to RB Leipzig. He was quite good in terms of the French league. Openda as time, I think it was it Lens? Yeah, I think it was Lens anyway, the Belgian forward. So it was mainly those three over the last couple of seasons that have been getting quite a lot of goals. Jonathan David, as you can see there, in 18 matches, 11 goals, which isn't too bad, but a lot of the talk, and quite rightly so. 25 years old, Jonathan David. He's got a lot of strengths about his game, and certainly Liverpool need to keep an eye on him. He's very quick, the Canadian forward anyway, but it's that ability to go on either foot, really. He's very adept at going on the left, on the right, really, and especially with those central channels. He really thrives against any defence in European football as well. But for me, chat, if he's available, it'd be interesting to see possibly to replace a Divock Origi role in the Liverpool squad. I know, obviously, you've got Nunes on the bench, but I don't think Liverpool would be very happy with having an £85 million worth player on the bench, really. Obviously, Jonathan David is a massive improvement on Divock Origi than we've had in previous seasons. I think he'd certainly do a job, and it won't just be Liverpool. I'd like to hope that a lot of teams in European football will be keeping an eye on Jonathan David, but mainly due to the fact of obviously him being a free transfer, and Liverpool, we kind of act like we're skins in the transfer market. We do. But that would be straight down FSG's alley. And that is not saying that he's a bad player because he's a free, because he's a very highly talented forward striker. And as Mr. C's mentioned there, West Ham have been absolutely linked to every striker under the sun, really, mate. I know obviously you got Fulkrug come into their football club, the former Borussia Dortmund forwards, the big German lad. But yeah, West Ham have been screaming out for a striker for absolutely years, really, which is a bit of a mad one. And quickly delve into a couple of the other key players in the Lille team anyway. If it lets me go back. Maybe 1 second here, chat. So their fixtures. So in terms of their starting 11, as you can see, Munayer, the Belgian fullback, he was at Paris Saint-Germain prior to his move to the French league side. And then even before that, you have to go back to the Borussia Dortmund days. He's very, that is somewhere an area of weakness for me that Liverpool can certainly go down that left-hand channel. He's not the most mobile fullbacks, really, the big Belgium. think he stands at about 6'2", 6'3" anyway. And certainly if it's Lucho Diaz or Cody Gakpo down that left-hand flank for Liverpool, I think that's an area of weakness that Liverpool can certainly utilise. Ismaili as well. Pretty sure he was in the Saudi league or he was in that range of continent really. Prior to his move to the French side anyway. And then you got a couple of Cabela. We remembered him. Can you remember him at his time at Newcastle? It's not the most rememberable times for the French attacking midfielder anyway. But it's certainly a very technical, gifted footballer that likes to play in between the lines as well. And there's another player that I wanted to speak about as well. Edon Zekrova, thankfully he's injured. Obviously the Kosovo winger, he was quite linked with quite a fair couple of moves in European football as well. But yeah, as you can see, obviously the former Basel winger, but obviously he's been in the French League on side for 2 years now. But in the window just gone prior to the season, he was linked with a lot of top clubs anyway, and certainly a lad that can certainly bring a lot of quality to that Lille side anyway. And Andre, very experienced central defensive midfielder, doesn't provide quite a lot, doesn't have a lot of pace about his game, and certainly how old is he now? Like 34. Yeah, 34 years old. The experienced French defensive midfielder anyway. Is the captain of Lille, but he's been around the gaff. He's been at Lille since 2019 anyway. So do apologise there, Chaz. So let us know your thoughts. Get your score predictions in the comment section below. You've got a couple of key threats, Lille, in all honesty, but I think obviously in terms of they do sit third in the Ligue 1 standings as well. It's a bit of a mad one. I think everyone was up in arms really with what Cristiano Ronaldo did say a couple of weeks ago, saying that the Saudi Pro League has got a better level than the teams in Ligue 1. And a lot of the Ligue 1 purists were like, well, you can't be saying that. But Paris Saint-Germain, it's an absolute joke of a league. We spoke about the Championship last night. That for me, the Championship is more stronger than the Ligue 1. You look, obviously, the De Zerbi going to Marseille. I thought he would have done much better. The former Brighton manager. And I had anticipated them to win the league this season. But yeah, Paris Saint-Germain, no surprise that they win the French Ligue 1 title every year. The resources, the financial resources. So yeah, obviously, the manager. Speaking of quickly touching on West Ham, Will Steele did get a move to Lens, the former Reims manager. Obviously, they're currently starting 13th in the Ligue 1 table now, but he did move to Lens. And Lyon are a big one. They were literally in the bottom three at the beginning of the season, and very surprised that they've managed to come all the way back up to 6. But with Lille, yeah, they've been in and around first to 6 in the last 10-year period anyway. A team with a lot of quality. They are a very good side in terms of French football, but certainly will provide a lot of threat for Liverpool, certainly. But in terms of obviously the results in the Champions League so far for them, just quickly going back, the most notable one was on match week 1. That was a big win against Real Madrid, as you can see there, on the 2nd of October. And then obviously they had another big win. It's Lille. I know I just give the French league a load of jib there, really. But you do look at the French league teams, you look at Lille, and you look at Brest that have done really well. Is that a surprise for me? It is, but it just goes to show that there is certain qualities. But I think when you come up against the bigger teams, I know Lille have beat Real Madrid, but I think similar, a bit like Liverpool when we play a couple of teams in the Premier League, where Real Madrid going into that game, they were just far too relaxed, and they massively disrespected that Lille side on the night, and they fully did deserve the 1-0 victory on the 2nd of October, that Lille side. So big results, similar. Atletico Madrid come into that game, and that's the one thing, Liverpool, going into tomorrow night's game as well. Of course, we are top of the league, top of the Champions League as well. Obviously had a good draw against Juve. So they've had very favourable results, them and Brest, which is very surprising to say the least, really, in terms of Obviously, did get a 3-1 win against Brest as well. So they've had a couple of fair good results, really, to say the least, anyway, in the Champions League currently. Who are their remaining fixtures in the Champions League? So they've still got to play Feyenoord, obviously Arne Slot's former team, and that's on their final match week as well. But in terms of the Champions League standings for both teams, for that matter, in terms of quickly on the let's quickly go back there, chat. Do apologise. Goes the Champions League standings. There we go. Let's get them up. Table. There we go. So in terms, we know where Liverpool are, but you do analyse the teams in and around. We spoke about that last night in we chat in regards to very much the teams in between 5th to probably 20th, really. You look at Real Madrid, 9 points out of 6 games. And you do say if the likes of Paris Saint-Germain do beat Manchester City, that would put Manchester City, as long as Zagreb could pick up a point against Arsenal this weekend, tomorrow anyway, it certainly would cause a bit of, especially from 17th, 16th to 24th, there's still a lot of football. Very surprised at Dynamo, Shakhtar Donetsk in previous seasons. They've done quite well against certain teams, but there's still, I'm just made up chat that we are, and obviously Lille do find themselves in the top 8. So it just goes to show that, as we just went through a couple of their results anyway, they've done really well. Look at Brest as well, picking 13 points up, only being beaten once, both French sides. So, yeah, this season you've had a good year in the Champions League, but I don't think that's very much translated to their form in Ligue 1, considering obviously Paris Saint-Germain are sat top of the French league table with 47 points. So it's one of them, chat, if we're being honest, really. There's still certainly a lot of quality that Liverpool have got to keep an eye on tomorrow, but Liverpool are in tip-top form. We do our game anyway, and we stay focused. I think we can certainly get the result over the line. But we don't want to be doing what we've done against Real Madrid. Go in there with an attitude and the right attitude to very much get the results over the line. But I think the one thing that the Ligue 1 teams do struggle with, I know we've just went through a couple of the big results for Brest and Lille. They've done really well this season. But I think in terms of the speed in which French football is played at compared to the Champions League, this is why I do feel Paris Saint-Germain have really struggled in European competition. Yes, Paris Saint-Germain did get to the final against Bayern Munich not too long ago. I think we remember that Kingsley Coman winner in that final not too long ago, a couple of years back. And obviously, Bayern did win that year. But Paris Saint-Germain, the resources, they had Messi, they had Neymar, and they had Kylian Mbappe. Yes, you can speak about the midfield not having the right engine room to go, but even still, that forward three should win any competition, even in a five-a-side league anyway. Like, it's not a joke, the strength and quality. So it's when Paris Saint-Germain go from playing, say, Strasbourg one week and then go into a game against Real Madrid or Liverpool, like they very much don't do well. And for me, this is where French teams might struggle in terms of the latter stages of the competition against the bigger teams. But you never know. Lille and Brest certainly could surprise a lot of teams. And I'll tell you what, chat, for the latter stages of qualification for Liverpool, say if Lille and Brest do finish in the top 8, it would be absolutely a great result for really, because you look at Villa, you look at Brest, you look at potentially Borussia Dortmund getting in there as well, even in Atalanta. So there's all to play for in match week 7 and 8. So there's a lot of opportunities for certainly a lot of teams to very much sneak in there as well. Nabil Bentaleb, who was at Spurs, I don't know if he's. I'd quickly check in terms of his big up there, Zane. Hope you're well, mate. Have a quick look in terms of their injuries coming into this game. As we just mentioned, the Kosovo midfielder, the right winger, that is injured. Obviously, as you just said there, Zane. Yeah, Bentaleb's out. Umtiti, former big player that was destined for the stars and didn't quite live up to expectations, even though Umtiti did win the World Cup. But it's just looking at Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba was in that midfield, but Kante done all the legwork really for all the midfielders in that run into the World Cup final anyway. So, yeah, couple of other big fixtures as well. You got Benfica at home against Barcelona. Considering Barcelona in recent weeks, If you've not seen him in La Liga, they've had an absolute awful start. Well, they started well, and then they've gone on like a 10-game winless streak, which is an absolute joke, but Barca, you're not really surprised anyway. Then you got Club Brugge against Juve, very big game. You got Monaco versus Aston Villa, obviously Atalanta versus Strasbourg, and Leverkusen versus Atletico Madrid. Tell you what, chat, that is going to be a massive one. Obviously, that's on tomorrow night as well, and then obviously we'll be doing a watch long on Wednesday night as well, chat. We'll pick a chat. Chat, that's one thing. Quickly look on the what game do you want to do on Wednesday night? Just having a little look on the schedule. So for the Wednesday night game in the Champions League, oh yeah, let's scream now. PSG versus Manchester City. We'll do that, chat. And I know just being absolutely slagging off Paris Saint-Germain, but go on, lads, knock out Manchester City. So yeah, we'll be supporting Paris Saint-Germain on Wednesday night anyway. So yeah, and then Real Madrid Salzburg. We won't be wanting to watch that anyway. Big up there, Gary. As I said, Taliola, one would sell Jota and replace him with Dusan Vlahovic. So yeah, top striker there, Gary. I'm very surprised that Arsenal haven't signed Vlahovic. I've said, we mentioned it last night in terms of Arsenal's inability to get a top striker into the football club, not even replacing the likes of Nicolas Anelka and obviously Thierry Henry back in the day anyway. I think we all remember the days where Arsene Wenger was getting top four with Bentner and Shamak. But yeah, they threw Arsene Wenger under the bus anyway, and they wanted them gone, which is mad. It's a miracle in itself that Wenger was getting top four with that team. But yeah, top striker there, Gary. You need to go and do something, mate. And hope you well. Massive thank you for tuning in, mate. Massive thank you to Zayn and obviously Doug and anyone tuning in tonight. Absolute legends. Mr. C said there, can't underestimate Lille, but got the feeling confidence 2 or 3-1, but any win will do as well. Gary, the Coca-Cola lads, yeah. Of course, mate. Not at the minute, mate. It's not on me Coca-Cola. Gary, you'd have to retype that out, lads. I'm on absolutely nothing. Yeah, Coca-Cola, bud. But yeah, Gary, get your score predictions in, mate. I think you're going to be going 7-8-0, aren't you, mate? I'm hoping it's a result, Chas, because it would be nice, as we spoke about last night, if we can very much come top of the tree. We've spoken at the top of the show, the revenue, all well and good. If Liverpool can put that money, hard-earned money from all the players and very much invest that in new deals, certainly would go to it, because that's how football works. And I've had a lot of discussions with a lot of people over the last couple of nights in regards to the shorts that we've produced. I done a little video. If you haven't seen it, Chas, you probably laughed your head off when you seen the title. But I done a little transfer video. And someone started, funnily enough, and I do appreciate the comments. They said, "You're not playing FIFA, lads." And it's because I said I'd like us Liverpool if we showed a bit of ambition. Not to say that we would get Palmer or Saka, but if Salah was to leave at the end of his career or not get a contract, for me as a football club, not that we'd have any chance of getting them, but if there's two players that I'd like to see if Liverpool would go for it, would be Cole Palmer and Saka as well, because I think those two could certainly do a job, both of them 22, 23 respectively as well. Got the quality, but would Liverpool ever go for them? No, and then I woke up, to all the comments as well. So nice one, everyone. It's much appreciated. I knew as part of doing YouTube, you got to create some interesting videos, to say the least, to get a bit of interaction and engage with the community as well. But yeah, I fully expected that, chat. I think we'd all love Cole Palmer and Saka, but yeah, no chance. We'd wake up from a dream anyway. Could you imagine Liverpool actually showed that a bit of ambition? But even still, the wages. Good luck getting Cole Palmer. He's on like a 10-year contract, isn't he? So it's going to be difficult to very much for anyone, even Real Madrid, to very much have a little look at him and see to get him. Big up there, Callum. Hope you're well, bud. You've gone 2-1 to Liverpool. Gary went with a 3-0 to Liverpool. Nunes actually. I think we'd all take any goals from Nunes at this moment in time and in this point of the season. But yeah, I'm confident. I'd happily. For the score prediction. You know me. I do great on my score predictions, especially in those. If you didn't see the World Cup watch-alongs, don't watch them back because I don't think I've probably got about 2 in all those games in the World Cup. I got about 2 scores. It was, yeah. Mystic Jack, anyway. That's certainly not Paul the Octopus. Remember when he had him on Sky? R.I.P. Paul, anyway. I tell you what, he was classic predicting those. Predicted Germany that would win the World Cup. So random, anyway. I do apologise, chat. Yeah, Callum, obviously, his starting 11. Check his starting 11's in. Obviously, Doug did mention his starting 11 anyway. Callum's going with Kelleher. A lot of you are rotating the goalie chat. Do you reckon that'll happen? Fair enough, especially because I do understand where he's coming from. I know I mentioned before that I don't think Liverpool would rotate, but certainly because Ali's been out a couple of times this season, it's probably sensible for more use, really. Keller, Bradley, Endo centre half by looks of there, Callum. Van Dijk, Robbo, Grav, McAllister, Jones, Diaz, Nunes, and Elliott. Possibly if we could drop another midfielder there, Callum. Possibly, mate. I do think we need to start resting Gravenberch and McAllister in certain games. So even if we got to the second half, Callum, and if at the ideal world is Liverpool are winning 2-0 up at half time, and then we can make probably about 5 changes. I'm just so petrified, really. Just McAllister or Gravenberch getting injured. But the thing is, in terms of replacing that quality, there's no one really to come in and replace that overall quality. So it is difficult, but it is what it is. That's why we are in a position as a football club at the minute where we're just having to throw the likes of Gravenberch and McAllister into the fire, really, and just pray that they don't get injured. Nunes, he will, Gary. Yes, we're winning the league this season, mate. Say it with chest, Reds, especially if you're going to work with any Manchester United fans or Chelsea fans. Yeah. United fans watch their current Man United team behind the couch anyway. They're absolutely petrified of going into any game, seeing that Manchester United side anyway. Scorers Mackin and Nunes. Ozan, are you available on a free transfer, Ozan? I'm trying to say. John Henry might have a word. Because we bought you once, we'll get you again. Ozan, big up, mate. Massive thank you for tuning in, bud. But yeah, there we go. If you're new around here, Ozan thinks I look like John Arnalisa. I wish I had his left foot anyway. Yeah, certainly. Big up, mate. Hope you're well. Salah and Jones to fight. Callum, and you've brought us straight onto the segment of the show that, for me, chat, you know me, I don't dwell too much on social media, because if you do, especially on X, your head would roll over into Birkenhead. I've looked on for about 5 minutes, and then everyone was just going at Curtis Jones just because he said he rated Hazard when he was growing up, but it's just give everyone an opportunity that already dislikes Curtis Jones. And we know Curtis Jones in the Liverpool fan base splits opinions, massively splits opinions. You know me, I like Curtis. I think he's a very good player. Have done for a lot of years and made up to see him get an opportunity. But yeah, it's quickly. Can I get to this? We'll get to the Arnie slot section in a little seconds. Let me get to, where is it? The Curtis Jones bit. There we are. Let's see, where are we? But yeah, Callum, hopefully that doesn't happen, mate, anyway. But pretty sure, as long as Salah doesn't storm down the tunnel again like he did at full time at the weekend, we're sound. But obviously, chat, as you can see there, Curtis was in an interview with Rio Ferdinand. And I know, was it a couple of the comments were fuming? Yeah, obviously this from Daz there. Why do we keep on sending Rio to the Liverpool stuff? Obviously he mentioned him being in the Liverpool changing room as well. Like, the thing is though, what everyone's got to understand about Rio Ferdinand, he's been one of the best, if not one of the most elite level centre halves in an era of dominance, which is disappointing in Manchester United. We wish it was absolutely awful for them. But his technical understanding of in-game football is very good. It's very, very good, really, to say the least. Because just quickly here, shall we rewind? Because you can see there, he understands the game really. He was just speaking about Arne Slot. If you haven't seen this video, chat, check it out, everyone. Obviously for copyright, we can't obviously play through it, but what we can do is very much click through the video. But yeah, interesting video, chat, to say the least. But everyone was losing their minds really, because Curtis Jones was asked about obviously who were the players that you grew up watching, and Eden Hazard was. He mentioned Zinedine Zidane as well, Curtis Jones, and he mentioned Steven Gerrard. And then everyone with the section where he said technically about footballers and Eden Hazard and all that good stuff, all that jazz. And yeah, it's just mad. It's just the world we live in, really, in terms of just people don't watch the full context of anything these days. Like you could do, like I've done over the years, I've done like a whole hour's worth of video chat, and people just click on the video and look at about 60 seconds and go, you've just said something about that. I'm like, you've taken it completely out of context. Go back for the other 58 minutes that we've done. Similar with like interviews or like anything really anyone consumes on media these days. It's the TikTok generation. They want to watch a 40, 50-second clip and then get the information straight away. This is why cinema is absolutely on its last legs. People just dislike going to cinema. The only reason people don't go to the cinema nowadays is because it costs an absolute mortgage to go. And Odeon, if you're watching, make it what it used to be, like £4 tickets, and then your stock prices would go through the roofs. But sadly, the multi-millionaires and billionaires that control cinema is, obviously a new form of Netflix and Amazon Prime, and that's why everything's so popular now, streaming. Hence why YouTube's very popular with a lot of people as well. Cut through the noise, straight to the point as well, with fan media content as well, which is all fantastic. But chat, let us know your thoughts on that. Obviously with Curtis Jones, and we'll speak about obviously Arne Slot as well. Very interesting, to say the least, in terms of the way in which he spoke about Zubimendi again. There was a choice words. Go and check it out tonight, chat, after this video if I haven't already done so. It was the way in which he spoke about Zubimendi. He said he still is a top player. So for me, I know everyone was crying their eyes out about this week's link with him going to Arsenal. I still don't think that transfer is dead. I still don't think it is dead. Hopefully Zubimendi is disappointed that he didn't get the deal, but the main thing is he's been let down by the hierarchy at Real Betis this season. I think he was given a lot of insurances that they would be competitive in the league as well. They've had a bit of a surge in recent results in the last couple of months as well, going a bit higher up the league. But I think he was very much lied to. And we've seen players in previous histories gone by that that does happen. The only people that know internally are obviously Arne Slot and the technical directors, and obviously the academy scouts and everything. Journalists are there, and everyone like us we're there to consume the stories and the articles and everything. But the only people that know who Liverpool will be going for are, of course, the sporting directors and, of course, the people running Liverpool in the background as well. So, yeah, Gary's gone with Kelleher, Bradley, Quansah, Quansah, Virgil, Costas, Jones, Endo, Elliott, Dans, Nunes, and Salah. I made up you've played Jadon Dan's there, Gary. I think it's going to be an excellent opportunity. As we spoke about Lille being third in League One, really. They're a top side. And for me, you look at Dan's, you look at McConnell when he's played this season, little spells. Even Jarell Quansah coming up against Jonathan David, if he is to play tomorrow as well, the Canadian forward. I think it's going to present a lot of opportunities. Even Connor Bradley, I think we forget, he's still only 22 years old. So it's very much an opportunity tomorrow night. Of course, we want to be winning that game, but certainly an opportunity for those lads, like Zidane's and the other fellas, to very much evolve their game and develop and learn And it doesn't get any bigger than Champions League games. We know that, really, especially as a football club. No game is a given in European competition. But interesting selection, that Gary. I'd agree with a couple of players there. Big up there, Ozan. Yes, la. My fans in Ireland, Rich. Big up there, Damo. Yeah, I tell you, it's great. It's great anyway, and going into work, especially if you got a load of Man United mates or colleagues or whatnot. Because certainly in the 90s and the 2000s as well, of course, when there were swings and roundabouts, everything eventually comes round in the world anyway. And this is United's time now as well. Big up there, Storm, as well. Hope you're well, bud. As big up there, Mr. C. I work with Chelsea, United, Tottenham, and several Arsenal fans, and used to work with a Millwall fan, all the same place, but mainly Ipswich as well. Happy days there, Mr. C. And I think the main thing for you was very much that you made up to see Ipswich in the Premier League, mate. And fingers crossed with your lads, mate. I think certainly if obviously you did get beat by Manchester City, but as we spoke about last night, mate, you and obviously the Ipswich fans, you made up to see City come to the ground, especially the billions that City have spent. And saying like a club like Liverpool, we've spent billions in the Premier League era as well, so it's not just them. But yeah, certainly there, Callum. There's a lot of There's a lot. I've got a lot of, not a lot. I'd say I've got family members that are Everton fans, but it's quite civil, really. It's especially when Derby Days rounds. It's a good friend that I know. You give me stick chat, because I know everyone was going, we'd like to see Everton relegated. For me, I'm not really bothered really if they're in the league. Sounds 6 points every season. I know we've got to play them in a couple of weeks. We've got to play them twice, haven't we? So don't want to jump the gun really on that one. But it's going to be a difficult game. It always is against Everton. You just love a good draw against Liverpool, especially Liverpool going for the league title or whatnot. But yeah, it's one of them, really, chat. And Gary, I think that's what everyone can agree with, mate. Along may continue. Putting it bluntly, to say the least, Gary, as always. Not on the same planet as well. Yeah, the spending. Yeah, chat. Quickly touching on, obviously, finally on tonight's episode as well, chat. Yeah, I've gone with a chat. Get your score predictions in. I've gone 1-0 to Liverpool. I think it's not. It's just going to be one of those games, chat. I think we just need to box off, get no injuries tomorrow. So I'm going to go 1-0. And obviously, for quickly touching on, obviously, can I quickly get it up here? There's the section that I wanted to speak about. That. Apologies, I can't play this video here, chat, but there's no why. Obviously, due to copyright, chat. So we'll quickly go onto that freeze frame there. Obviously, Arne Slot was very much speaking with Rio about the video in terms of his analysis, and he spoke quite candidly, really, in regards to Ryan Gravenberch. I think it was with this clip. Yeah. Obviously, when Ryan Gravenberch played against, obviously, AC Milan in Champions League. But it was interestingly enough about very much the central midfielders. And really, I blame quite a fair much more about what Arne Slot wants to do with Liverpool as well. There's emphasis really on just playing between the lines and playing centrally as well. I knew Liverpool done that, but in terms of the way Arne explained it, chat, go and check it out. It's very informative, really. I learned quite a fair bit as well. A bit more than Slot on this Liverpool team. And this is why the transfer window will be very interesting, to say the least, really, in terms of, this is why I mentioned before, Zubimendi. He mentioned Zubimendi in this video. Rio asks him what happened and all that good stuff. It's about having that type of profile. And especially, I think Rio asks him about Gravenberch, not really seeing him in his more favoured position. But Slot obviously explains the reason why we are seeing like Gravenberch, McAllister as well, playing in the two sixes, the deep line sixes, and the ability to just play out from the back. I think if I can quickly find it, it's the spoke about Virgil van Dijk's importance as well in terms of the link up play. There we go. That was it. In terms of very much Arne Slot. Can you see my cursor? Yeah, you can. Can I zoom that in? Can I? Hang on, can I? Yeah, there we go. You'd think I'd never worked a computer before. Apologies, chat. I wish you had one of those touchscreens, chat. I tell you what, I'd have a lot of fun with those touchscreens and all buttons and all that. They cost a fair couple of grand now anyway. But in terms of Virgil van Dijk picking up the ball there, really, it just obviously the 2 6s there, McAllister, Gravenberch as well. And you just spoke about obviously the box there, really, in terms of the very much the midfield. And just bypassing out. We know we spoke about it. Obviously, I certainly did speak about it on Anfield Index chat. If you haven't seen that video, please do head over and check it out. Not just my video, but and get involved with all Anfield Index's work as well. The absolute legends. But we spoke about it in terms of the post-match analysis, really, in terms of Virgil van Dijk stepping out of the defence and very much playing those crucial balls into the likes of Gravenberch and McAllister. And this is why I do think that Liverpool will continue to still be in the market for either a Zupimendi, and I still think that deal's not dead, but another player of that technical ability. I think gone are the days now of Liverpool being a Fabinho-style team where we need a destroyer, we need someone to recover the ball. I think it's all about just technical control within the games and just killing teams off, really, in terms of boring them, really. But this is why, obviously, the importance of Virgil and then Ibu, just giving the option from the likes of Gravenberch and McAllister coming quite deep, just be inside the halfway line in Liverpool's half, and then really just transitioning through those, like, the compact midfielders as well. I mean, that's one thing that we did struggle against Brentford up until we did see the emergence of Elliott come on and then Jones. That's where we had a bit more penetrating runs in behind the Brentford midfield as well. So there's a lot of possibilities there, and certainly Chas, definitely. I quickly copy that link in anyway, so if you haven't seen it, you can watch it after the video tonight, Chas. But yeah, check the link to that video is in the comments. Save that to one of your tabs and very much check it out tonight if you haven't seen it. But yeah, Reds, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below going into this game. If you are watching on the repeat very much tonight, let us know your thoughts on the game. Yeah, don't dwell too much, Curtis. Keep it as up, lad. Just don't listen to the absolute sausages anyway. Because yeah, Curtis Jones didn't have a lot. It's very mixed. Liverpool's fan base is mad. Just support the players, man. Yes, if they leave the football club, they leave the football club in the next 6 months anyway. But at the minute, when they play for Liverpool, get behind them. We'll critique players certainly, like with Nunes as well. But when they're in the red shirt, get behind them anyway. Yeah, but chat. Let us know your thoughts on tonight's episode. It's been a good one. Callum's gone with 2-1. Fingers crossed, mate. These beat Madrid. They did, Callum. Obviously, on match week 1. 8 months yesterday was Klopp's final dance. But Callum, what a magical moment, mate, for that. For obviously the gaffer, Jurgen, the former gaffer, to very much transition us into the Arne Slot era as well. I'll tell you what, it's just still amazing me how well Jurgen done that. And I'm made up that Klopp looks about 30 years younger. And Arne will look about 30 years older in about 6, 7, 8 years, especially if he is successful at Liverpool. But certainly, it's just the stress levels, like just managing the club the size of Liverpool, it massively takes it out of you. Just the sheer expectation, really, of being at a club. This is why transfers are so important for any football club. But if you look at Liverpool and City, just in terms of competing and reaching those levels, Liverpool certainly need to bring in quality. Hopefully in the January transfer window, but certainly in the next couple of years to come as well, and get those contracts signed, Liverpool. But chat, as I said, click on that video. That's the links to that, obviously, interview with Arne Slot, Rio, and very much Curtis Jones. But chat, obviously, we will be back tomorrow for a post-match reaction. Obviously, chat, if you make sure you tune in for the Anfield Index live watch long as well, chat. We'll be on Anfield Index tomorrow, as always. But make sure you do get involved in everything Anfield Index does as well. I was plenty of great content, transfer videos as well, transfer podcasts with everyone really at Anfield Index. Please do check out all their great content on all social media platforms. If you listen to your podcasts as well, and you love your podcast, if you didn't work or whatnot, AI very much, Anfield Index very much do that. So much great content through the week and certainly going into the January transfer window as well. Reds, but look after yourselves, Reds. We'll be back tomorrow for the post-match reaction show. That'll be very much a bit more of a later one, chat. Obviously, we're doing a watch longer than that. But yeah, nice one, Mr. Z. Appreciate your support, bud. And everyone, have a lovely rest of your night. Go and smash work tomorrow or whatever you're doing tomorrow. And have a lovely rest of your day or evening. Reds, let's hope Liverpool can get a result tomorrow. And we will be live on Wednesday night. We'll be doing the Man City Paris Saint-Germain game. We'll be cheering on PSG. Fingers crossed. Bonjour. Oui, oui. And all that jazz as well. Apologies, chat. I'll be going now. See you later, Reds. See you tomorrow night. Ta-da. Reds, a massive thank you for watching today's episode. Whether you've been watching on the repeat, if you've been watching in live comments, hope you massively enjoyed that. I enjoyed it anyway, speaking to all of you. Obviously, if you want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool, hit that subscribe button down below. Put your bell notification on so you do get notified when we do go live again. Reds, we'll see you on the next episode. But on your way out, make sure you do drop a like on the video. Massively does help out. You're absolute bloody legends. And let's hope this season is a very successful season for the mighty Liverpool.